hinges creak in doorless chambers, and stranger poisoning cells echo through the halls. Whenever candlelights flicker, when the air is deathly still, that is the time ghosts are present, practicing their ghoulish delight. When cryptos creak and tombstones quake, spooks come out for a swinging wake. Happy haunts materialize and begin to vocalize. Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize. Close your eyes and don't try to hide. Shrouded in a dark disguise. Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize. When cryptos creak and tombstones quake, spooks come out for a swinging wake. Happy haunts materialize and begin to vocalize. Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize.
What is up, everybody?
I was looking on Facebook and there's that 10-second delay and it really threw me off. Hi. Hello. Friends,
Billy,
enemies,
Chad,
my
Johnny.
Chad, not just any Billy, but awesome Billy. Johnny Horror. Friends, today we are talking about the merger of John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson and Stephen King. Not Cell, but 1408.
I forgot they did that movie together too.
It wasn't a better movie, that's for damn sure. But it was a
What did
movie
you think?
nonetheless.
Oh, I keep on whacking my shit.
Whack your shit all over the place. Just whack it. You'll put your eye out.
Listen, that will be on my. That's gonna be paywalled on my OF.
Jesus. So here's the thing that we learned with 1408, and this is like a common theme across Stephen King's stuff. Like, he loves writing about the struggling author. He loves writing about that tortured soul who's gonna write some weird shit about it. So we go from The Shining, where we have Jack Torrance, and now we go into 1408, where we have Mike Enslin, something like that. I think was his name. Yep. This is already starting off great. I can't remember the main character's name. Where he's a tortured writer battling this loss of his child. He's estranged from his wife, and he sucks at surfing.
From what I've seen, he sucks at surfing.
Sucks at surfing.
All right,
so there's gonna be a lot of spoilers, Chad. There's gonna be a lot of spoilers.
Hopefully you've seen this. We always try to give go watch the movie before you hear us talk, because we ramble. So we could not even hit on some good points, and you could be like, hey, you know what? What about this, guys? What are you, stupid?
Oh, we hit on the best points. So
yeah.
Like 1408, if you add up the numbers, it equals 13. Boom! Spoiler.
That's fucking math.
So, okay. Chuck, you'd seen this before, right? This wasn't your first time watching it?
No. This is actually the second or third time I've ever watched it. But I remember going to the theaters and watching this one.
Okay. I don't think I saw it in theaters. I know I watched it before, but I really don't remember the first viewing. This was almost like seeing it for the first time.
Yeah. When you watch the trailer, it brings back something. You're like, it's one of those where you kind of forget about it. You're like, I didn't even know this was a movie, but it is. But you forget John Cusack was an actor?
Do you forget about it because it wasn't good? That's where at the end, where I'm like, did I like it? Was it a good movie?
I don't think, for me, it doesn't fall anywhere on either side. It's in the middle. It's like when you're like, oh man, I'm on my way home and I need to grab something to eat. I do not have a preference. I know I need food in my body, but I don't know what I want, but I just don't want to give myself the shits or anything like that. So they're like, let's pick up this. and 1408 is that thing.
So
It's like
1408
it's
will
an
not
okay
give you
movie.
the shits.
Yeah, it's not a horrible movie, but it's not one of those where if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, you haven't seen it?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think that's a good way to put it. It won't give you the shits, and we won't be mad if you say you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Chad, this is Old Smoky Mango Habanero. It's a terrible idea. But so we have 1408 based on the short story by Stephen King. It came from an audiobook, actually, which I have upstairs. I'm going to bring it down. I forgot it.
It
But
came
it was
from go ahead, sir.
No, go ahead.
I have it written down too. Go ahead.
Blood and Smoke, I think it was called.
Yep.
It's a really cool package. Like it looks like a pack of Marlboro Reds. Like it's a cool little package. Yes, Jessley, you get a pass. You get a pass. Emily and I did watch together. Emily does really enjoy this movie. She had seen it before. She liked it. Watching again with her was great. I think that we both kind of had similar feelings of almost like seeing it again for the first time.
Yeah, she has a very surprising palette for me. As in, like, yeah, she really likes this movie. You're like, I'm like, really? Like, I'm like, I just wouldn't expect her to enjoy it. But I mean, I don't know. I've never really personally met the woman, so yeah, she's gonna hate this.
The psychological kind of stuff is something she really enjoys, and then also like John Cusack is in some of her favorite movies outside of this, so I think that kind of plays into it a bit too.
And what is that?
She likes the John Hughes kind of movies.
Like the 16 Candles,
yeah,
stuff like that. He's the one that held the boombox up, right?
He held the boombox.
Yeah, that's his movie. Yeah, your two main people is the main reason we went after this movie and it was on the list was we wanted to pick something that takes place in one, like the majority of the movie takes place in one location or a single room if we could. And 14 year it's like it won unanimous I can't say it unanimously like by like a good amount, which broke my heart. I was really hoping for Feast, but Josh picked this one because it was a Stephen King movie, so we went for it. And
Johnny, I would say the mayhem starts about 27 minutes in. I don't know if that's what you're asking, but that's what I'm answering. Yes, this was oddly enough one of my picks. It was Stephen King. The single, and I cut you off so horribly, I'm sorry. The single room thing I was really into. That was your idea, and I loved it.
Well, thank you. Mainly because I wanted to watch Feast or Devil. Those are the two I wanted to pick. Because I wanted to. There's movies I want to show Chesley because she has a massive list of movies that she hasn't seen or like I've mentioned, and she put on a list. And Devil is one that I want to show her. But I was like, well, maybe we can do it for a Movies in Mayhem. Feast is also a good one, but you got to have a strong stomach for that movie. It's kind of gross, and surprisingly enough, it's from the so Matt Damon and Ben Affleck did the Project Greenlight, and I think it was the very first recipient, like winner of the Project Greenlight thing, and then they gave them the directors the money to make it, and they made it. So, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about 1408.
Right. So in 1408, 2007, directed by Mikael Hafstrom. And he hadn't really done much else and really hasn't done much else since. Like, it seems like he dabbled in this one, and that was about the extent of it. One of the first directors on board for it, which is a hot name this month, was Eli Roth.
Oh, yeah. He
was tied to it, and Stephen King wasn't exactly thrilled, and the original treatments of the movie were too bloody. It was something that people felt, we're not trying to do a torture porn movie. We're trying to do something psychological, something thrilling.
Yeah.
So he was out. They brought in Mikael. They brought him in, and his vision for it, with more of a psychological sense to it, focusing just on the carnage and what can happen inside 1408, is really what his spin on it took away from the torture porn elements, the hostile kind of vibes, and pushed this, what is going on in the mind of this person who lost his child, who lost his wife, and turned to a life of writing as a way of coping with those losses.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was like. So we have John Cusack as Mike Inslin is your big role, and then we have Samuel L. Jackson as a supporting role as Gerald Olin. I don't know if they ever mentioned his first name, but that's what it is. Is Gerald.
Gerald.
But he loses his daughter, and it makes him. I guess he's a bad father. Like, I guess he's a smoker, drinker type of kind of a rough dad, I think. But he tried his best with his daughter.
I don't think it was really that he was a bad dad. I think he just had poor coping skills.
Yeah.
And when his daughter passed away, it derailed him, which I don't know if I could fault him. If something happened to one of my girls, like I would be an absolute mess. Would I say
be hunting ghosts too?
Would I say I'm going to go get a pack of cigarettes and never come back to Emily? No, not by any stretch, because I don't smoke. I'd have to say something like, I'm going to go buy a signed
gallon of milk.
I'm going to go buy a signed Funko Pop from a stranger, like something like that, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, he ends up across the country. Like when he gets this note to go to the Dolphin, he is, man, now I have to return to the scene of the crime. I have to return to New York. I have to go back to this. And his publicist is even just like, Monk is like, are you going to come back to New York? Like, really? You're going to turn back?
Yeah, I was going to throw out Tony Shalhoub's little cameo in it of his quick little... I didn't see a Stephen King cameo. Usually he puts himself somewhere in in his movies, like at least somewhere. Like even Whack It in the background. He's usually in
Whack It. Whack It in the trailer.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this. Probably skipping ahead a little bit, but
do it. Jump around. House of Pain.
The alcohol, the spirits, if you will, that is offered to Mike from Samuel L. Jackson's character Gerald. The name of it is in French, and it translates into like 57 deaths or something like that. But then you find out that there's 56 deaths, so it's kind of like, foreshadowing of like, we're giving you this alcohol and you're going to be the 57th or whatever. So
I didn't catch that. That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's the alcohol he's drinking the whole time that Samuel L. Jackson gives him.
Yeah,
that's the name. That's the French translation name of it.
And did you catch the name of the one guy who drowned?
No.
Grady.
Oh.
Like the twins from The Shining.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
22 natural deaths, 34 unnatural deaths to make that 56.
Yeah, because that's what he says whenever he's giving the papers is like, I know about the 30 whatever, and he's like, well, no, that's just what, that's the unnatural. That's what the newspaper reports on is unnatural stuff. It's like if if your head catches on fire inside of a hotel room, you're going to want to write about it. But the stuff that looks natural in a hotel room, then newspaper's not going to want to write about it. So he was unaware that that's how many deaths were actually in the hotel room. So there's a lot more than what he thought going in. But after his daughter's passing, he decides he's going to write some spooky books. He's going to be like, yeah, the 10 most haunted, whatever. And that's what he does, I guess. He starts doing tourism books.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when he gets pulled to this one, it's like he parks like an asshole at the post office, and then he has the note telling him to come to the Dolphin. He makes the comment about room 1408, 13, cute. He's trying so hard to find the shock value and the thrills and the this eye-catching shock value kind of stories that the 1408 is just, he has to go to the Dolphin. He has to make this happen.
Yeah.
there's a scene in it that was interesting to me. He's doing like a book signing and like talking to people, and no one really gives a shit. Like there's a few people there, but they don't care. And he's kind of a dick to the audience, but a woman comes up to have him sign his first book, and it's about being a father. And he basically says like he would never write a book like that again. And it shows a different side of him than this like spirit hunting, spirit chasing kind of dude, right? So he has this like before his daughter died personality and this after his daughter died shell that he's now living in. And the dolphin is aiming to destroy both of those pieces of him.
What's up, Burke and Doug? What's going on, guys? They are in the comments. We got a lot more people here than we usually do. Everybody was just so happy to see us back.
Absolutely.
Now there is two things that is mentioned. I have written in my notes about the book signing that he does. I like how whenever he does go in, they kind of don't care too much about like the guy that's running the bookstore is like, "Oh, you're the author, cool." Like,
right.
He didn't even recognize him. He's like, "Oh yeah," but on his hat, it says "Paranoia is total awareness," and his hat is based off a quote that Stephen King likes to say a lot: "Is perfect paranoia is perfect awareness."
Say it again.
Okay. Mike's hat has paranoia is total awareness, and that's a play off of Stephen King's favorite quote, where it's perfect paranoia is perfect awareness.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah, and that kind of connection, that kind of subtle nod to it is amazing. And that really like aligns with his stoic approach, his very kind of condescending towards people who want to believe Enslin, not Stephen King, but the character himself. Like he's arrogant, he's a dick. Like he goes into these haunted things so skeptical and ready to shut it down. But at the same time, write a book about it and make a profit.
Yeah. And then there was his, ending line after he got done talking to everybody, which was "Stay scary."
Stay scary.
Oh, stay scared. And that is a line that George A. Romero used to say a lot, and he would even sign it when he would do autographs and stuff.
And so when he gets to the dolphin and he gets like the talk, he feels like he's really being set up. Like Samuel L. Jackson is really lifting him up to build up the most intense fear before he gets to the room to really sell it, right? He doesn't realize how honest Samuel L. Jackson's character is being in all of this.
Yeah.
And he goes into like the Christine of hotel rooms, basically, where they say electronics don't work. Now, here's where I'm kind of confused. Like, if electronics don't work in this room, the TV's fine, the radio's fine, like the clock's fine. So basically, it's everything but cell phones.
Well, it might be one of those where, because what you're talking about is whenever he says that, most hotel rooms have turned into like, the whole key card entry and microchip stuff. And because when he hands him the key, he says it's very antique-y. And he says that, electronics don't work and stuff like that. I think it just means basically they don't work like they should. Like they can't always rely on getting in and out of the door and stuff like that with electronic lock, which, we see later on that he can't get out anyways. But I think it's one of those where in most haunted areas where electronics aren't reliable like they need to be.
Right.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Beautifully. You have the voice.
And I'm glad that Minton catches all your STDs.
That's
there, Burke.
That's fucking teamwork. So they talk about like cleaning the room. Like he's worried that the room's not going to be fresh. It's not gonna the blankets are going to be dirty and shit like that, right? And they're like, well, we still clean it. We just have to make sure we do it in shifts once a week or once a month, I believe they said. But when he goes to check out that room, like they didn't bother to like replace carpeting. There's still like blood stains. He pulls
Yep.
out the black light, and the blankets are like, they don't replace the sheets. They just like, because I mean, it looked like that room's seen some shit. Like, they looked like Berkowitz had been all up in that room, just leaving DNA.
Just depositing his load in all the corners.
Right. Like, it was a messy mix of like Berkowitz with his STD talk here and like Anthony Lucking from Waldo. Like, though that's an inside joke that I don't know if we need to bring in here, but he kills people. So just a mess everywhere, and he's going through this room, seeing all this shit, and it's like he's not phased. It's like, yeah, whatever. And as he's talking so cynically into his recorder that's still managing to capture everything, and then the radio clicks on and it starts playing I don't remember what song it was. I have it written down here. The Carpenters, We've Only Just Begun, in the 60-minute countdown.
And I love the, like, whenever it happens, he tries to explain it, like, oh, they must have he starts breaking down his movements of like, okay, I was at the window, radio cut on, chocolates on pillow. And he's like, okay, then I went to the then, I moved to the bathroom. That gave them enough time. They must be, so he's looking to debunk everything he can in the room. And it's impossible because that's not how it's going to work.
So I don't know if Doug's still here, but CSR, we need to get a John Cusack signing. 1408 pieces, sell pieces, get those Samuel L. Jacksons. Let's do it. And a Stephen King signing too. But
you just put that on the books. Doug.
As he starts debunking everything, like the window falls, cracks his hand, and then he starts seeing shit. Like he starts seeing, like, I don't want to say ghosts, because they weren't really ghosts. They're like TV static apparitions of some sort.
Yeah, I just don't. That movie was just, I don't know. It's just not. I think I couldn't get into it as much as maybe it's one of those where how you couldn't do Dead Alive.
Mm.
That may have been my thing of like this. I was like, yeah, it's fine. I rewatched it. I'm like, let's get through it. But
I was really surprised this one won, to be completely honest. I really was
too. But maybe the other ones, just, I don't know. People didn't know too much about the others to put them out there. Or maybe people love 1408 and we just hit like a key demographic that we didn't know about of people that just like, fuck yeah, Stephen King.
I would recommend it, Johnny. I think it's a movie worth checking out. I think that it has some interesting pieces, especially coming from Stephen King. Like, it's a dumbed down version of The Shining. If
that's a good way to put it. Hotel Ghosts, yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah, I think like if Jack Torrance would have been a father who lost his child, it would have been 1408.
Yeah, The Shining is your name brand, and 1408 is what you're going to get if you order The Shining from Wish.
The Temu Shining, Temu.
Yeah,
but it was still good, and I think like the whole no one's ever lasted an hour, and then like I said, the Christine of hotel rooms. The counter starts coming down. He destroys shit. It fixes itself. The windows crash down on his hands. Like all this shit that happens. It's exciting.
Yeah, but like, it gets rolling. Like because it's very slow and kind of stale at the first. Like it's information. That's all it is. There's no like, oh, maybe he saw something in another hotel earlier, or, maybe he's seeing stuff leading up, or, he's like maybe not all there going into it, but none of that happens. It's all very straight, played very straight until, the first radio turn. That first time that radio kicks, that's when the shit starts rolling down. Like it just starts to snowball.
I'm trying to find now, like John Cusack. The movies he's been in, he's a trained kickboxer. That's weird because he looks like
he doesn't have let's just say it's not his body's not body by kickboxer. I'll tell you that.
When asked in 2009 why he never married, John Cusack answered, "Society doesn't tell me what to do." He
I
like
do what I want.
no, that's like the white boy answer of "fuck bitches get money." Like, come on, Jesus.
He's gonna walk away with his no fear T-shirt on.
Okay, so 16 Candles, Stand By Me. He played Gordy LaChance's brother. Say Anything, Fat Man and Little Boy. I don't know what that is. It just sounded funny. Money for Nothing, Bullets Over Broadway, City. So the reason I'm reading these is like when I was watching this movie, I was like, I've never seen him in a role that's this intense.
Yeah.
But then that movie, Identity, that was a pretty intense movie. That was a good movie.
That's what I was trying to remember too, as if that was him, because I own that movie. That movie was very That movie is also a thriller horror that takes place in a motel, not a hotel.
Holiday Inn. Yeah.
Uh,
And it was that intensity that you got from Cusack that was like, man, why doesn't he do more roles like this?
Yeah. But to just interject, Burke, I do know what you're talking about. That is now you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's the like living organism video game they plug into their spine, and like you don't know which reality is which whenever you're watching it. But if that's it, let me know. But yeah, I just you don't see him in like really intense roles, and Identity was, they made a second one.
No,
I haven't seen it, but I know they made one.
That's terrible.
All right.
Can you hear that?
What?
Oh man, is it not going to work? All right, never mind. So scratch that. I can still make this happen. Yeah, really, seriously, that really. So when he starts seeing all this shit, the room starts going crazy on him, and all that shit happens. You realize like this is a battle in his own head, in his own mind. Like the room that he's fighting is bringing all these things to him. I thought it was really rad how all of a sudden he woke up on the beach. Like he's coughing up the water. He's a terrible surfer. Like he wakes up on the beach. It's still not working.
Now,
he wakes up on the beach.
Yeah. When you first saw that, did you think, oh, okay, the movie's almost over because maybe this is how it's supposed to end? Like,
I think when I first saw it, yes.
Yeah, there you go. I hear it now.
Fucking delayed amazingness. That really worked my face.
We're not going to be able to monetize this.
So he wakes up on the beach, coughing up, and it's like everything is fine. Everything is great. He is back with his wife, and he's like, Katie was there, blah, blah, blah. All this shit. And then goes to the post office, and shit just starts falling apart again. And he realizes he's back in the hotel. But it gives you this, like, calm, peaceful, everything's going to be fine before shit just is not fine. And there were 4 endings to this movie. There's the Blu-ray version. There's the DVD version. I think the DVD is the theatrical. 2 additional versions. And that's not even the same one that was used in the story itself.
Yeah. I have 3 written down. Surprisingly enough, in my vast collection here, because I thought I told you I am going through and hold on one second. I know this is.
Oh, Berkowitz, we always kick it off with there will be spoilers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, spoiler.
Here we go. I don't know how well you could see that. This is a list, and it's alphabetized of the Blu-rays, DVDs, VHSs I own. And I think the number has hit, and this is me not doing the VHSs I have right now, 710 is how many movies I have in this house right now.
See, I've gotten rid of most of mine.
Yeah, but I don't own 1408 is what I was going to get at. so I had to rent it on Amazon, which it was like $4. But if I could speak Spanish, the Spanish version was free if I signed up for this weird Spanish channel. So, but the ending I got, which was one of the endings, but it wasn't the one that was actually most seen because it wasn't the theatrical or what was mainly played, was that firemen save him, pull him out. His wife comes. They basically reconnect. She takes care of him. They're in his I guess house, packing up. He's healing. She pulls a box out and says, "Hey, this stinks like smoke. Let's just throw it away. Let's just get rid of these memories." So he goes to the box. And he's looking through it, and he gets his tape recorder out, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll toss the rest, but I'm gonna keep this." So he sits down. He clicks it on. He hears a few things that he's spoken to it, and then all of a sudden he hears his daughter Katie. And there's proof right there that ghosts are real. Like, he had that conversation with his daughter in that room. There it is. And that's one version where he hears it. His wife Lily looks up and looks at him. She hears it. There's another version that is he hears it, she doesn't. And then there's the version that they played, I do believe, in theaters and was on your basic DVD, which was he goes with his daughter and he just kind of like disappears in the room or whatever. Don't ask me which one I saw in theaters because it was, 13, 14 years ago. So,
and again, none of those matched the original Stephen King ending. And I guess like the reason that they did that was Stephen King's ending was so open to interpretation. They wanted multiple endings to be open to interpretation as well.
Yeah.
And Berkowitz, I read that as orangutan at first, and I was like, what the fuck?
Extremely offended.
And then I was like, oh, I don't know, Oregonian. I like that. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kendall.
What does that look like?
Stephen King does not know how to end a book, and that's like the joke that he runs with to this day. Like, it's in like the new miniseries. They talk about how the author he's portraying doesn't know how to write a book or whatever. Yeah, he doesn't know how to end a book, but it's this one especially. And again, I wanted to take the time to listen to it, but I did not. So we'll see. But
geez, Josh, you had the time. You said you watched the movie last Saturday.
I watched it dude, I've been so fucking busy. I watched it last Saturday, and of course. But it's just such an interesting, and again, psychological. And the psychological kind of movies, it takes me a while to get into. Like, I like psychological horror, but I feel like it's so easy for them to be done wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And this one just teetered. Like, it was good, but at the same time, they were trying to pack so much action and so much insanity into that room, with him flipping around the walls, with it burning down around him. Like, it was almost distracting from the story.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this is one that's kind of got me where I don't have a lot to say on it, type of a situation. Sometimes I do have stuff to say about movies, but this one, like I said, it is one of those in the middle movies of like, it was fine. Like, if you're like, hey, let's watch a movie, I found this one. Okay, put it on. We'll watch it. If you've never seen it, I wouldn't say break your neck to go watch it, but it's a fine outing from a Stephen King, book. You do have a few fails that they've put out from his category. I mean, I'm sure you have your opinion on some pretty bad Stephen King
like
miniseries.
They decide to get John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson back. Like, oh, let's redeem you guys for the Stephen King universe. How about this movie Cell? Okay.
I've never seen that movie.
Don't do it. I'm gonna pick that one for our next vote. So okay, so it's Chuck just said this one got him to a point where he doesn't have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
I've said about all I can say about it. We're only 35 minutes into this. This never happened.
I can give you the Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, let's see the Rotten Tomatoes and all that.
So the Rotten Tomatoes for the 2007 Stephen King's 1408 is the tomato meter is 80%, and the audience score is 61.
That's it.
Yeah, I didn't have a whole. Yeah,
that's all you got to
yeah,
tell us about it. Oh my goodness. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Which I guess so. I guess the critics liked it more than the audience did.
Theatrical.
Honestly, I think people, I don't know, I guess maybe didn't know how to take it, and that's why it kind of got a bad. It falls.
It was like
in the middle
Berkowitz's joke earlier. I just didn't know how to take it. On the review,
you knew how to take it. Maybe you wouldn't get an
STD. The film holds a rating of 80% based on 176 reviews, with the site's critical consensus reading relying on psychological tension rather than overt violence and gore. 1408 is a genuinely creepy thriller with a strong lead performance by John Cusack. "3 out of 4. It was called the best horror film of the year. That's interesting. It's also funny to see movies with like wall phones and shit. Like throwback.
You ever ask
back in the good old days?
How would they answer the phone?
Back in the good old days, when you could actually hang up on someone and have it like loud and angry, and now you're just like
have it mean something.
Yeah, man. But I mean, it was good. But again, like,
and I don't want it to feel like I am shitting on your choices for movies. I don't want it to feel like I'm like, this was a shit movie, Josh.
I mean, you're the one who picked Dead Alive, so
I go back to that. I'm like, yeah, he shit on that movie. So
oh yeah, I did.
But I'm not going to shit on this. Like I said, it was a fine movie. It's just, I said what I said about it.
Yeah,
I decided to look up the horror by year and see what came out in 2007. Because you said this was.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. Let's hear it.
There's no way. What did you say? This was one of the best horror films?
That's what this one critic said.
That critic's stupid. Just by numbers. And then because it starts off the list, we have 28 Weeks Later came out. 30 Days of Night came out.
Trick or Treat came out.
Yeah. Your favorite movie, Alien vs. Predator, Relinquim?
I don't know. Do those get to count as horror movies? It's interesting.
I mean, I'm not even into the B's yet. And there's a good handful of movies that was, I think.
I don't know. I don't know if Colin's still in here, but his Shrooms, it's a movie he always says we need to watch. That came out in this 2007 too. Wrong Turn 2, The Mist.
Now that's a good Stephen King.
That is a great, yes. What is this?
And that's one that I would never put out there to be voted on. Because a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah, that's a good one. So we have 7 people in the chat. Well, watching. We have 7 people watching. We have Berkowitz in the chat.
At least we're happy to have him.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What movies should we consider doing next? Like what you had suggested holiday movies.
Or maybe even not just holidays, maybe like a Christmas. Because there is a lot of Christmas horror out there that a lot of people haven't heard about. Like, I don't want to do the, anything after the 70s would be great.
The Mean One.
Oh yeah, that's out.
Not a horror movie, but Violent Night. God damn, I love that movie.
The one with dude from Stranger Things.
Yeah, dude, Dave Harbour. So
yeah,
good.
There's a new action movie out that's coming out soon. Is the that Silent Night? Have you seen the trailer for that?
I did. It looks good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Chesley
Berkowitz's comment just like threw me off guard. Krampus, Puka.
yeah, I've seen.
Wasn't
There's a
that
lot
only
of
like a
I've seen.
10-minute movie though?
There was a short about it, but I think it was pre-COVID, Hulu signed a contract with Blumhouse where every month they were bringing out a new horror movie, and it usually had something to do with what was going on during the month. The very first one they did was a Halloween one, and it was called Dead Body. And then they did a Thanksgiving one, and then they did a Christmas one, New Year's one, Valentine's Day, and they did that for 2 years, and then they stopped, which sucks.
Yeah, it just stopped.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe their contract ran out or it was COVID didn't help.
I feel like in Blumhouse gets such like a shitty rep anymore. Like it seems like people are like. It seems like people hate Blumhouse these days.
It's because they put out so much stuff that there is bound to be some poop mixed in with anything that's good. Like so you call it Blumhouse, I call it Blumhouse. It's like tomato.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it's fine however you call it. But I just wanted to be like, when I say it, I'm not trying to overcorrect you. But like
when I
just
say
put out a
Bloom,
movie,
you say Blum. Blum.
But last weekend when the Marvels came out, they decided to drop a movie called It's a Wonderful Knife.
Oh yeah.
And that is a Christmas themed horror movie by them,
Yeah.
but it's also done by Shudder. I was really thinking about doing a double feature tomorrow, and me and Big John go see Thanksgiving and then stay and watch It's a Wonderful Knife. But from everything I've read, it's not that great of a movie, and it's going to be free on Shudder on the 1st of December anyways, so I'm going to wait.
And I let my Shudder account. I shut it down.
Lapse.
I didn't renew it.
Well, why? It's only like $6.
The trailer for Imaginary looks fucking awesome.
I've sent that to Chesley, matter of fact. So this is basically turned into us just talking for the next maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, so. The trailer for Imaginary was great. I sent it to you.
You sent it to me or to Burke?
I sent it to Burke. Well, I sent it to our group chat.
But speaking of trailers, Chesley likes action movies too as well. But she likes Silent Night was one that she said she was interested in, and The Beekeeper with Jason Statham.
That one does look good.
Santa Sleighs is a good one, Johnny.
All right, let's
with Goldberg.
Let's do this. You ready, Johnny? We're gonna pull this one up here. I have to sneeze. I feel like I should go off camera for it.
Just give us the full glory of it.
You might get the full glory because I'm like multitasking now. Do.
But expect a video on my thoughts on Thanksgiving, maybe to Monday morning, because we're gonna go see it tomorrow.
I really want to see it. Like
I'm
ASAP.
very excited.
I just think it's rad. Like Creature Feature Weekend announced that they were gonna have a guest, the actor who played John Carver. And
now, is it the body actor or the voice actor?
My understanding it's the body actor, but I don't know. They've
because
been so. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. This is one I have not had any spoilers. I don't want anything near spoilers to it. Like, I want to see this without any kind of spoilers. But we are going to watch something.
There wasn't a spoilers. It was just there's a guy credited for his voice. So I'm thinking there's like, you know how, why am I blanking on his name all of a sudden? Roger Jackson does the voice for Ghosty. But there's so many people that play the body, you know.
Yeah. All right, you ready for this?
Trailer. Yeah, hit it.
Grandpa, I want the truth about Christmas.
If it's the truth you want, then it's the scary truth you're gonna have.
According to the Book of Claus, Santa, Satan's only son, lost a bet and was forced to spread Christmas cheer.
You know, I was supposed to get you, or I was going to get you a Goldberg autograph
All bets are
for this.
And he was like $100 and some dollars. Yeah.
Santa?
Yes.
Was that
there
Fran
is a
Drescher?
Santa Claus.
Yep.
Oh, ho,
Now, have you seen this movie?
ho.
Hell no.
Santa
Great
Claus is
holiday
not a
movie.
myth or a legend. He's real. Only he's not bearing gifts and presents anymore.
Christmas can sure scare the dickens out of people.
He's scary and educational.
I'm just trying to spread a little Yuletide fear.
Are you saying Santa is offing everyone who's naughty and nice?
Nicholas shot him!
You shot Santa?
Run away! Santa's on the loose!
This holiday season.
Oh boy.
Ho, ho, ho.
Lock your doors. Bolt the windows.
Oh, Grandpa got run over by a reindeer.
Everyone stand back. Things are about to get a little messy.
And
Oh,
block
boy.
the chimney. Cause naughty or nice, Santa Claus is coming to town.
I'd watch it. It doesn't look too terrible. I mean, it looks terrible.
It's the kind of terrible that you're like, oh, it's fun. Like, that's what it's supposed to be. It's just supposed to be a real fun, goofy. I like
Johnny-
a movie that goes in like that.
Johnny, I don't care. I don't care that the voice actor is already. Somehow this movie has not been ruined for me, and every movie I ever want to see gets ruined for me because I never managed to make it quick enough. Marvel movies, I always had tickets for the opening night, except the Marvels because it looks terrible. This one, I haven't had time, and I'm gonna see it as soon as possible, but I don't want it ruined.
Now, I don't want to go too much into this in it, but since we're talking about it, did you see the original Grindhouse movie in theaters back in like what was that, 2000?
Tarantino, those like that Death
back in
Proof and-
Planet Terror and Death Proof were
Yeah,
2007 too. Actually,
I think so. Actually,
speaking of 1408, well, we had an old theater. We went and saw it in, and it was me, the guys, and we were like, because this was one of the first movies that really had a long runtime, other than Titanic at the time. You know, Titanic back in the day, where it's like, oh man, 2 hours and something, almost 3 hours. Geez, who's gonna sit through that? And now that's a norm. Like that's what we want because how much we're paying for tickets.
yeah.
But you go in, you watch. Death Proof was first. You had your fake trailers, and then you had Planet Terror. Well, there was a good. You can't. I don't know. They're gonna bring out Death Proof and Planet Terror on Blu-ray. I think, like special edition Blu-ray soon. And I
Yeah.
hope they add the trailers in. Like they give you the trailers so you get to watch them on like a special feature. And I think you can find most of the trailers on YouTube somewhere. But like it's Rob Zombie's Werewolf Women of the SS,
Mm-hmm.
Hobo with a Shotgun, Machete, and then Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. Wait, what you got ready?
Nothing. I was scratching my hand.
Oh, I thought you were like, I'm ready.
No, I'm listening.
And Hobo with a Shotgun was made into a movie. Machete was made into a movie. And then it only took almost 20 years. But they made, Thanksgiving into one.
So this was one of those.
It was a fake trailer. Yeah, it was a fake trailer.
Huh? I hadn't heard that at all. That's really interesting.
And
Actually,
what's cool? Have you watched the trailer for Thanksgiving?
yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure they did their best to go back and see the scenes because you can get like a little preview of some of the kills that might be coming in the movie when you watch the trailer. they did their best to reenact those scenes in the trailer and put them in the movie. So I'm interested to see the movie and see if they were actually able to fit those in. Like if you can look up and see if you can find the Grindhouse trailer for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, let's see.
Because we still got about 10 minutes. Thanks, guys, for watching and just hanging out. I mean, you're more than welcome to comment, say some stuff.
Touch tips. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Become
I
best
forgot.
friends.
So, for some reason, my YouTube on my computer here is like forever stuck in restricted mode. So, this might not work.
Oh.
Death proof. Yeah, I'm not getting anywhere with this. Wait. Is this it? This might be it.
Yeah, if you look up I just looked up Grindhouse Thanksgiving trailer and
That seems inappropriate.
yeah.
Is that what you found?
No. There's a 12-minute one I found. Like I said, these might be restricted to you, but there's like a Grindhouse double feature 2007 trailers. So that might be showing you that, but
we haven't Chad, we haven't dropped the next. We're taking suggestions, but we haven't dropped
yeah, it's like it basically looks like that.
I think I found.
Yeah, I looked up Thanksgiving Eli Roth trailer 2007 in Grindhouse. Oh yeah, and this is how it looked. If you didn't see it in theaters, there was just such a. Oh yeah.
This holiday season, prepare to have the stuffing scared out of you. Thanksgiving.
I remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah.
In the town of Plymouth, Massachusetts, the fourth Thursday in November is the most
And
celebrated day of the year.
I'm so angry at myself. So
The table is
when
set.
Hot Topic was in its old
The
location,
festivities have begun.
I
What uninvited
went to the
guests
back of
have
the room,
arrived.
was
This
looking through
year,
their discount
there will
T-shirts.
be
It may have been like
no
this was like maybe
leftovers.
2009, 2010. Hot Topic never carries shit in my size. 3X either sells out and they never have a 4X. But I found a T-shirt buried underneath other T-shirts. It was $5. I bought it. It was a Thanksgiving T-shirt. Had the turkey on the front.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
That came out when I worked there.
Yeah, I guess I threw it away or threw it out, like because I wore it a few times and just tossed it, and it makes me so mad because that would have been an amazing T-shirt to have in my hands to put on to go see this movie. It would have been one of the original fake T-shirts they made for the movie.
Yeah, I remember. I 1000% remember that shirt.
Yeah, but like I said, they go through and they try to. Only thing I don't like that they did, and this is just me glimpsing from what they've shown of the action figures, because I would love to get those NECA pizza.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like,
pieces.
it looks like the
He's in a
NECA
jumpsuit.
action figures are following that trailer a lot more.
Yeah, it's him. It looks like he's in a jumpsuit and not in like. I'd rather see him in a full pilgrim garb. But the figures look great, and I think the T-shirt's very interesting. It comes with like the fake Carver mask and stuff like that. So,
and Johnny, to answer your question, do you think we'll go to another con next year? I hope so. I really hope so. I know April we're looking to push some 6Com guests in certain directions with some different cons that are out there. So we'll see, but I'm really hoping. And I'm bummed because Creature Feature weekend is the weekend of Emily's birthday, and I want to be home for that weekend, obviously. But Chiller, I'd love to do Chiller again, and Astronomicon or something like that in Detroit. I'm hoping for.
Oh yeah, like we are ready, and the body is willing, but we just have to be called upon. Basically, we're in the batter box. We just have to be called up to the big leagues whenever they're ready for us and they need us, basically. Because I'm pretty sure me and Josh are on the same page, as in we're good to go. We're ready to go when they need us. Like, honestly, I would love it if they would get a few guests in at Mad Monster in February so I could go. That would be amazing.
I feel like Mad Monster is probably booked up.
Oh, they've only announced 4 guests so far.
The conventions fill up so fast. I was bugging. I felt like an idiot. I felt like such a jackass. I messaged Nick from Fearsome Figures about CreepyCon. I was like, "Hey man, I have this idea, and I'm sorry. Like, he knows what he's doing. He doesn't need me being like, oh, it'd be a great idea if you decided to add. Like, he fucking knows what he's doing." So I felt like such a chode, and he was just like, "Fuck off, idiot." No, he was really nice about it, but
Eat a shit sandwich.
Right. So I mean, anywhere that is that the big thing is going to be, and I want to see this for. Oh my gosh, what am I trying to say here? The people who are on the roster for 6Com are good people. Mike DeLuna is doing Day of the Dead this weekend. The pictures I've seen are fantastic. Like, he's been busy. He's been signing a lot of shit. If you want to see any of those people at conventions, if you want to see Chuck and me helping out those conventions, comment on those conventions when they're dropping posts and just say, we want to see these people here. We want to see Alan Robinson. We want to see Lynn McCree. We want to see Andy Lundberg. We want to see yada, 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 you name it. And let's get them out there. Let's get us out there.
Yeah. Listen, we're ready to go. Oh,
yeah, that's what I've heard too, Johnny. I've heard he's been doing really well. I saw somebody that had they took a canoe in to get signed. That's insane. And Kane Hodder's table price, what did I tell you, Chuck? $80 now?
It went up, yeah.
So fucking. And guests that are charging for like $5 for take our picture off our table. It's so wild to me.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
It's
an expensive hobby. It's an expensive hobby, but
one of my favorite things, and will get me as a collector. This is me personally as a collector, not as a business person, not as nothing else. Because I understand they got to make money. That's the thing, is that, you know, this is a job for them. Is if I go up to a table and see like, oh, you know, it's this much for an autograph, but it's like a free selfie with them, then I am more inclined to be like, yeah, let's do it. But the table prices have been going up, and it's getting a little rougher out there, especially with Kane Hodder jumping to 80, which he was 60 for a long time. And just this weekend, well, no, it was last weekend, John took a photo of Matthew Lillard's little card at his table, and his prices jumped. Like, it went from, I think it was $80 for a autograph selfie combo. It is now $120 for an autograph selfie combo.
That's so fucking wild.
Yeah, it just that 120. I'm like, that makes my stomach hurt, because some of these people you meet and you're like, I don't know if I'll meet them again, so I want to get 1 or 2 things signed. Well, those 1 or 2 things signed turns into like, now I can't get anybody else signed because I got 2 autographs from one person.
And that's the thing with conventions. Like, you have all these people in front of you. Like, I want to send that gunner that I got to Creepy to get Grandpa John Dugan on it,
Mhm.
and Adrian Barbotas got announced. I want to send my Creep Show VHD out there, but it's such an easy thing to just start stacking and stacking and stacking all these other people. Johnny said that they signed that canoe. Mike DeLuna signed that canoe, and the same person also brought a Volkswagen car door. That's fucking insane. That's a collector, man. Like I applaud that, dude. I love props, and I think I have cool props, but that guy wins.
I think I has a door and a canoe.
For $40 to $70. Oh, he wants that Five Nights at Freddy's money.
Yeah, that's what Chesley said that because as soon as I told her, I said, "Hey, it went up," because he is Matthew is currently in Atlanta at Mad Monster's first Atlanta show that they're doing, and a lot of the Screamcast is there. And I told her, I was like, you know, he's there this weekend, but she's like, yeah, I told you that his price was going to jump after Five Nights at Freddy came out, because his star has like relit enough for maybe a younger generation that hasn't seen Scream or Scooby-Doo to come out for him and be like, oh, you're Afton, whoa, suck my pecker.
Right.
Which, I mean, he did a great job, I think, in Five Nights at Freddy. Did you watch that yet?
Not yet. I really every time I say I want to watch it, I end up falling asleep. I haven't had time.
That night that I was supposed to be sleeping before I drove the 8 and some hours to meet you in New Jersey, me and Chesley watched it. I mean, as a person that has never played the games and is on the fringe of like knowing things about the game, watching Matt Pat's game theories on it and just what she's told me, I mean, it's a good movie. I mean, it's a sorry movie. I think I enjoyed Willy's Wonderland better. But Chesley is on the other side of that. She hates Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, I enjoyed Willy. Like, I really like Willy's Wonderland, and it's really hard to top that. Dude, you got called out.
Why is that a spoiler? Listen, we tell people it's spoiler territory here, so cover your ears.
It's spoiler central. But all right,
we might not even be the movie we're talking about.
We've been at it for an hour.
Yeah.
And this is Eugene Clark charge. I feel like how do I put this? No, they not charge tax. But I feel like they like in their agreement they have to like pay out tax at some point somehow. So I get it, but that's still fucked up.
I can see doing it if you're running a card. Like if you have to run it through the card. That's what I tell people at my booth. Yeah.
Otherwise, the IRS goes to Eugene Clark and he's like, I only sold 2 autographs.
That's what I would tell him.
Right.
Like, do you see my card? Yeah.
So here's what we learned. Here's what we learned this week. From now on, Chuck, you need to tell me if it's a movie that you're not going to want to watch. And I'm going to not pick movies that you don't want to watch. Now, I'll do the same for you. If it's a movie I don't want to watch. Yeah. But even if it's a movie I don't want to watch, I'll still bring this fucking mulleted energy. And be ready to fucking...
I don't care.
Be ready to tell you how much I hated it.
Like you did with Dead Alive.
I think the first 3 we did, I came in to it like, fuck that.
Arachnophobia was our very first movie, and you
fuck that movie.
Hated it.
I hate spiders so GDM. Goddamn much. So, we've been at it for an hour. We will be coming up with another one. I don't like Christmas horror movies, but we might be able to come up with enough to make it worth our while. Yeah. And also, December is going to be a busy month, so we'll have to figure out when we can do it without interfering with everybody's holidays.
Yeah, I'll say I have like the announcement date, which would be like December 2nd if we wanted to do it that way, would be like the one Saturday night. I'm good, and then we have the Fright Before Christmas on 2 Saturdays, so we'd have to figure out.
Yeah,
we might have to do it the day before Christmas Eve. Who knows?
We'll figure it out. When your balls drop at midnight on New Year's Eve, we'll be live, ready to catch them.
Just,
I don't. Chuck hasn't really been doing many Funkos. And I have some new ones coming next week.
Well, yeah, I got it's a handful because I forget that I did a bunch of Funkos in February and stuff like that. But with the saving money and all that, I haven't been buying a lot of stuff. Like I didn't do any Black Friday stuff.
yeah.
Like I was hoping, Doug liked us enough that he would send both of us something, but apparently,
Well, I did. So Friday I was in Minneapolis. I had work shit, not fun like 6Com work shit, but like work shit. And I managed to get a Dings and Dents Funko from the CSR sale. And I was flying. I was like in the air during when the Funko Pop box dropped, and Emily managed to get that one for me. So those will be here next week. And I don't when CSR went live, they said it was 2 Funkos in that box or more.
whoa.
So I think I have 3 coming next week. And then I also just got 2 Shia LaBeouf pops. And those are on the way to get certed. I'm trying to think what else I have out there. Other orders. I really want to get the Corey Feldman Funko Pop. But they haven't said like how he's gonna sign it. I don't want to get it if he's gonna sign it in fucking Sharpie. I can't imagine that he won't use paint pen, but I'm still scared because it's Corey Feldman. He's a
tool.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
That's like the new standard is like paint pen. Paint pen
Yeah.
looks great on the windows. Use paint pen, but
It's Corey Feldman.
I say that, and guess one of the first things that happened to me when I met Nick Castle for the first time. Very nice man, signs my Funko in black Sharpie at the fucking ass bottom of my Michael Myers Funko. Like the best one I have is like yeah. So this is just
now we're doing it. John, right now, John is like, I was kidding, guys.
No, this one isn't signed. I just have it sitting here. But imagine this is Michael. I go up, hand it to Nick Castle, meeting him for the first time. Can you do it to Chuck? He writes right here, to Chuck, and then a signature right here at the fucking bottom in black Sharpie.
Yeah.
And you can't see it. I mean, it looks really bad. It's not on display. Like on all my display stuff, the 2 that I have out is a blacklight Nick Castle and a regular. Yeah.
Oof.
These 2 right here. I have a blacklight and a regular. The one I actually have personally signed is behind them.
Yeah.
So no one sees it because it just looks bad.
Johnny, like people were requesting other pens and he just wouldn't do it. I'll show you. I have a bunch of shelves in front of me now. I have.
Well, that would suck. If I went and met, because Alice Cooper is one on my list. Like I'd like to get a Funko signed by him, and if I went to him with a Funko, which is already in the 40s or higher when you try to get one of his Funkos, and then to go to him and spend, I think it was like 70 or $80, and for him to sign it in black Sharpie, I'd be like, listen, you old motherfucker. Oh.
My only Sid head.
Try to chop him out of his hand.
With a nice, broken, terrible.
Yeah.
But my only Sid Haig, I got this for like $25 at the exchange.
Are you gonna get it, sir? Are you gonna get like a authentication on it?
Probably, but it was this one and Bill Moseley sold side by side.
Figure. Yeah, I mean, for $25 for the signature and the figure, I mean,
yeah, just such a random thing to come across. And I mean, the packaging is so jacked up.
Well, I hate how bad those old
packaging
is yellowed.
$25 because they weren't allowed to sell it for more because it didn't have a COA on it.
I appreciate that too. Like you told me that the exchange, they have like a rule where they won't sell anything over a certain price if it doesn't have a COA.
The Bill Moseley one was $35. That's so funny.
I think it's in better condition, ain't it?
Oh yeah, it absolutely is.
Yeah, I think they sold basically off of action figure the the figure condition more so than the autograph.
Get up there, you little bitch.
Johnny said, "This is the live stream people want. It's show and tell."
Now that these shelves are up here in front of me, I saw today at GameStop they had a LED case for Funko Pops, and I was really tempted to grab
That's
one.
cool.
Yeah, it was really rad. I was
I'm
really
just trying to
tempted to
see
grab
what's
one,
like
but I will look into it a little bit.
in reaching distance because I'm fat. Probably
This
for
was. You might remember what this one came from. I don't remember what box. This was from CSR.
what's up, Isaac? Ooh, don't show me that.
What
Get it outta
mystery was
here.
this? It wasn't a Dings and Dents. Was it just like a random one they did?
I can't remember. I didn't get it. I'll tell you that. Well, that is bad. I just knocked over. I have all these DVDs and Blu-rays stacked up because I've been categorizing, and I just now need a whole stack over. Because Johnny's got me moving around.
All my shit's like nothing I have is in order. Like
Yeah.
I keep saying I'm gonna put these in some kind of order. Nothing I have is in any kind of logical order right now. One's what people wrote on the sides or like on the edge of these shelves. So if you're walking by, you can see down the side what it says.
I think I do have an autograph, but I showed Chesley this. I said this was very cool. It's like the original Bubba Hotep collector DVD, and it's like in like a little Elvis jacket. I don't know if you've ever seen Bubba Hotep. But
Yeah.
another cool thing I had, which isn't in reaching sight, is I have the original My Bloody Valentine 2009 3D DVD, and it still has the original 3D glasses inside of it.
Which one? Oh yeah, I have that somewhere too.
But
it's in these shelves behind me. Actually,
we all know who this gentleman is.
Yeah.
And then
Kane Hodder.
Oh yeah.
Did you send that in?
No, I. This is from the first time I met him.
I forget. Yeah, you gave. Okay, yeah, you gave me those cards too.
Yeah, in silver it says 1-2 Freddy's coming for you, and then in blue Robert Englund, and in red is his signature. This was whenever you could take a picture of him signing your object,
dude.
Or you could have a phone out inside the room with him inside the room.
That was. It's funny because that was one of the ones I have over here that I was saying that any of the ones that were. This was actually because of you that I got this one.
That's the double one.
Yeah. He did. So he did the Freddy on the side, and then he did it on the front too. I still don't understand how or why, but
I don't either.
I'm into
his
it.
Fingerprints on it.
Yeah, not bad though.
Yeah, we could do an hour-long live stream of just pulling stuff out. So
yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that tonight. I'm trying to get Emily to watch. Trying to get Emily to watch The Stand with me.
What you need to do is get the go and do the 7-day free trial of that Screambox and watch the Onyx the Fortuitous movie.
I am not watching that movie. Like
Why
that
not?
Because everything about that guy annoys the piss out of me.
You don't like Andrew Bowser?
No.
Come on.
Can't do it. I can't do it.
I don't know. It's a fun movie, and there's I want to do a my thoughts on that movie too, but I want to rewatch it.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you my thoughts on that movie.
What's your thoughts?
Can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it.
All right. Well, it's only just begun.
All right. So we will be back.
Everybody.
We'll be back. Keep an eye on our socials. We'll drop the date of when we're going to get back together. We'll get a post up for a poll on what we're going to watch next. Leaning towards Christmas. We'll see how it plays out. And I might, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, if I don't know, here in the next, because I think there's 2 weekends we got, or 1 weekend, maybe 2. No, it's 1. if you want to get with me and say, hey, let's pull a few things out to do show
I
and
want to
tell.
get
We
with
can
you,
do like
all right?
I know I got a pretty sweet ass. Oh yeah, Chesley said watch the Fall of the House of Usher on Netflix.
I do want to watch
It is
that.
good. We watched
wanna
it.
watch
It's good.
that.
It's good.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Until next
I'm calling
time,
it.
folks and folkettes, we will see you again soon.